Okay, colleagues, now we're dealing with the internal rate of return, IRR, not IRR, no, IRR. Calculate, but this same question with shop Z, okay, where they've invested 10 million, they'll be expecting cash flows of 3 million for 4 years, and then the terminal value is 2 million. Okay, we're now on part 3 where we have to calculate the internal rate of return, or the IRR. So basically, this is more like a continuation of the net present value technique. Okay. Also think of the internal rate of return as your annual return from this project, basically. Okay. Just think of it as the annual return from this project. Okay. So how the internal rate of return technique works is, and listen carefully, if your first net present value is negative, because remember the internal rate of return technique, you have to have 2 net present values, colleagues. Okay, you need to have 2 net present values, one positive and one negative. So if your first net present value is negative, reduce your discount factor so that you can get a positive net present value. Okay, so always remember this. If your first net present value is negative, just think, oh, this is negative, I have to now reduce my discount factor to get a positive net present value. Then if your first net present value is positive, it means you need to increase your discount factor so that you can get a negative net present value. I think let me just type it out so that we all remember this. So remember this. Okay. Goodness is, if you forget this, you'll get maybe another negative net present value and you see, oh, I have to change this or I have to do something to this, but that is also time in the exam. So if your first NPV is negative, reduce your discount factor, or your discount rate. So reduce your discount rate so that you get a positive NPV. And if your first NPV is positive, just hold on, colleagues, and I've got a call. Just hold on. Hello? Okay. Yeah, if your first net present value is positive, increase your discount rate so that you get a negative NPV. Okay, so here it's just a matter of you choosing. Okay, you can choose. So since here our first net present value was negative, so it means we have to reduce our discount rate. So I went down to 1%. Okay, because in the exam you don't have time to be doing trial and error. You try maybe 14%, you find you still get a negative value. You try 13%. So just be extravagant as you can, okay, so that you save time. So I chose a discount rate of 1%. Okay, if you want, you can use 2% if it will give you a positive net present value. That's okay. You can also use 3%, 4%, but in the exam, to save time, just go straight down to 1% if you're reducing, and if you're increasing, start first with 50%, then maybe 100% if you're still getting a positive present value. So I chose a discount factor of 1%. If we go to our present value table, okay, discount factor of 1% here. So year 1, 0.99, year 2, 0.98, year 3, 0.971, year 4, 0.961. Okay, so these are the values for each of the years. Alright. Okay, so you just do again negative 10 million, the same cash flows multiplied by the new discount factor. Negative 10 million times 1, you get negative 10 million. 3 million by 0.99, you get 2,970,000. Just check in Excel. 2,970,000. 3 million times 0.98, 2,940,000. 3 million times 0.971, 2,913,000. And 5 million times 0.961, 4,805,000. So when you add, let me just make sure these figures are. So you add now. Negative 10 million plus 2,970,000 plus this plus that plus this. Okay, so we get a net present value of 3,628,000. So we've got a positive net present value. As I said earlier on, the net present value technique, you have to have one negative net present value and a positive net present value. Any questions before I move further? Okay, so our higher discount rate, which is H, we say H equals 15%. Our lower discount rate, 1%. The net present value, NPV, with the lower discount rate, NPVL, should be 3,628,000. Our net present value with the higher discount rate, NPVH, negative 288,000. Okay, then we put this in our formula. The internal rate of return, IRR, is going to be L plus NPV. I think this formula is even given to you in the exam, so I don't think you need to remember it. So L is 1%, so you're going to say 1% plus a present value with the lower discount rate, so you say 3,628,000 over 3,628,000 minus the NPV with the higher discount rate, negative 288,000. Okay. In here you're going to have 15% minus 1%. So you break down this tabulation in smaller portions. So we start here. 3,628,000 minus negative 288,000. Colleagues with calculators, what do we get? In the denominator, 3 million. I want to get some bundles before my bundles finish. 3,628,000 minus 288,000. What do we get? Yes, colleagues, this tabulation in the denominator, what do we get? Remember, you'll be writing this tomorrow, so you have to swatter the answers. If you don't swatter the answers, how would you know what you've got is correct or wrong? Minus water.
The denominator part is giving 3,916,000.
Okay, 3,916,000. -15 -1, that is 14% here. Okay, so 3,628,000 divided by 3,916,000. When we divide,
Uh, 0.9264555.
0.926. Okay, we can end there, just there. So 0.926 times 14%.
Ah, 0.1297.
Wait, point 0.926.
0.1297.
0.1 297 plus 1
0.1497.
Wait, madam, wait. I'm saying your answer plus 1.
Yes. 0.1497.
Okay.
Oh, is it plus 1 or plus 0.01?
Madam, first.
I was
0.926 times 14, you get 12.96.
What are we multiplying? Isn't that 14 supposed to be 0.14?
Oh, you're
We are not converting it to decimal.
just keep it like this so that your answer stays in percentage. You can convert everything to decimals, then convert back to percentages, but to make life easy, madam, just keep it like this, okay, madam?
Okay.
Yes. So I was getting surprised that that number was too low. 12.96.
So, yes.
Plus 1, 13.96%. Okay. That way you save time than reconverting back again. Okay. 13.96%. So this internal rate of return is compared with your cost of capital, or in this case it's our interest rate. basically we're asking ourselves, is the return greater than the cost of financing, or is the return less than the cost of financing? Okay, so they told us in this question here that the interest rate is 15%. Okay, so this can be taken as the cost of capital, cost of financing. So your IRR is compared with this cost of capital. If your IRR is less than your cost of capital, reject, because the return is less than the cost of getting this investment. The return of the investment is less than the cost. Okay, but if your IRR is greater than the cost of capital, it means your return is greater than the cost of financing, which is a good thing. You accept. Any questions? Okay, we can go to the profitability index, PI, which is the present value of cash flows over the initial cost of the investment. You always want your profitability index to be greater than 1. That would signal that your cash flows outweigh the cost of the investment. If it's less than 1, means the cash flows are basically less than your investment. So present value of cash flows divided by initial investment, initial cost of the investment. So the present value of the cash flows here, get back here, we need to add, so let me just add them. 2 million. Oh, I'm only adding these cash flows here, positive ones. So we add all of them. $9,712,000. Divided by initial cost of investment, 10 million. $9,712,000 divided by 10 million. $0.971. That's our profitability index. As we said, the profitability index, if it's less than 1, not good. If it's greater than 1, it is good. Because when it's less than 1, it means your cash flows are what you accumulated from your investment is less than what you paid for your investment. But if your profitability index is greater than 1, it means what you've accumulated from your investment is greater than what you paid for it. Any questions?
So can you repeat the statement you are just from saying?
PI of less than 1 means your cash flows are less than what you paid for your investment. Okay. The money that you've got back from your investment is less than what you actually paid for it. In a PI of more than 1, okay, means your cash flows, what you earn from your investment, are more than what you paid for the investment. Is that okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
Based on the above project evaluation techniques, comment on the viability of the project. ShopZ should not invest in this project. Why? First, okay, with the payback period, at least you're recouping your money in 3 years. So that is a good sign, okay? So that is a good sign. Can give you hope, okay? Amongst the techniques here, it's only the payback period that is supporting this project, because you recoup your money back in 3 years, which is a short time to recoup it back. But now, when we go to the more realistic techniques, like the net present value technique, we saw we got a negative net present value. Okay, we got a negative net present value here. So this negative net present value told us this investment is not viable. That's strike 1 against this investment. The net present value was negative. Strike 2, profitability index was less than 1. Okay, want a profitability index of numbers greater than 1. Okay, there it is going to show that okay, your returns that you got are exceeding what you paid for investment. Strike number 3, the IRR is less than the cost of capital. Okay, remember we calculated 13.96%. The cost of capital was the interest rate of 15%. So the return from our investment, which is 13.96%, is less than the cost of the investment, which is 15%. So due to those 3 reasons, the IRR, NPV, and profitability index, this investment is not viable. Okay. Any questions?